Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're going straight to the heart of it, Metro Atlanta's single-family housing market, looking ahead to 2025.
That's right.
We know many of you listening are experienced investors, so we've dug into a key resource, this pillar article on trends and strategies for 2025, plus its podcast series.
Yep.
Our goal here is simple. Pull out the critical info you need to navigate what looks like a changing landscape.
And it is changing. I think the first thing that jumps out really is this clear shift happening in the Atlanta SFR scene.
A shift how?
Well, that really intense seller's market we've had for a while.
Oh, yeah. Bidding wars, everything snapped up instantly.
Exactly. Well, it's cooling off. We're moving towards something more balanced.
More balanced, okay.
And for you, the investor, that translates directly into seeing more inventory available.
More choice.
More choice, and property sitting on the market a bit longer. That definitely changes the game for acquisition strategies.
Okay, so let's unpack that. Longer market times. Does that automatically mean prices are coming down everywhere? Is it getting cheaper?
That's where it gets a little more complex. It's interesting, actually. Well, the median home prices, they're showing signs of maybe stabilizing.
Right.
Or even, dipping slightly year over year in some specific segments.
Okay.
And this is key, the average prices.
Yeah.
They're still ticking upwards.
Huh. Median stable, average up. How does that work?
It strongly suggests what we call a bifurcated market. Basically, you've got two different things happening at once within the overall market.
Bifurcate. Okay, so not one single trend then. Two tracks.
Pretty much. It seems like the higher-end properties or maybe homes in the most desirable spots are still pulling that average up.
While other segments might be softening a bit.
Exactly. So for listeners analyzing deals, it means you can't just paint with one brush.
Right.
Your approach for, say, a value play in one area might look really different from chasing appreciation in a premium neighborhood.
Makes sense. You got to know where you're looking.
Absolutely.
And the sources do emphasize that big differences across Metro Atlanta submarkets. Can you give us a sort of quick flyover?
Sure. So think about in-town neighborhoods, especially anything near the Beltline.
Still hot, I assume.
Very high demand, yeah. But the entry prices, they're steep, really steep.
Okay. What about further out, the northern suburbs?
Right. So North Fulton, Forsyth, Gwinnett, places known for strong schools, good job access, still a lot of demand there.
But again, probably comes with a significant price tag.
You got it. Then you have other areas, maybe further out from the core or near spots slated for future development.
Emerging areas?
Yeah, those could offer different kinds of opportunities, maybe more risk, maybe more reward, depending on your specific strategy.
Yeah.
Fix and flip versus long-term hold, for example.
Okay, so given all these moving parts, the overall shift, the price weirdness, the submarket differences, what are the key strategic things our listeners should be really thinking about right now?
Good question. A few big ones stand out. First, this whole calculation of new construction versus buying existing homes.
How so?
Well, in a more balanced market, the pros and cons shift, right? Pricing, the carrying costs while you renovate, potential appreciation.
Yeah,
It's a different equation than it was a year or two ago.
that's a good point. What else?
Understanding the full cost of ownership. That's always important, but maybe even more so now.
I mean, beyond just the mortgage?
Exactly. Property taxes, those can vary hugely between counties in Metro Atlanta.
Oh, absolutely.
And insurance costs, too.
Yeah.
Getting accurate numbers for those is it's just crucial for figuring out your real ROI.
Right, the boring stuff that actually makes or breaks a deal.
Precisely.
Okay, any particular, big picture risks experienced folks should have top of mind?
Well, interest rates are always a factor, aren't they? That sensitivity is still very much in play.
True.
And also, keeping an eye on the regulatory landscape. Local stuff, state stuff, zoning changes, rental rules, those things can shift and impact your strategy.
Always have to watch the rule makers. So let's try to pull this all together then. For investors using strategies like, say, BRRR or buy and hold or even fix and flip, what's the core message from all this analysis?
I think the main takeaway is that success in Atlanta's SFR market right now really hinges on deep knowledge and being adaptable.
Knowing your patch.
Knowing your patch, knowing the numbers, and being ready to adjust. Whether you're flipping quickly, holding for rent, or adding value through rehab,
Yeah.
you absolutely need that granular understanding. macro trends and submarket specifics, it's just non-negotiable for making smart calls.
And for anyone who wants to go deeper than this overview.
Yeah, the full pillar article is out there, goes into much more detail.
And there's the new podcast series, too, covering the same ground.
Right, another way to get the info.
And we should mention, if this dive sparks specific questions for you about certain neighborhoods or how these trends affect your particular investment style, the research creators are open to direct contact for those deeper discussions.
Definitely. And maybe that leaves us with a final thought for everyone listening.
Go for it.
With the market shifting towards more balance, maybe ask yourself, does this open up new doors?
Yeah.
Are there opportunities now that weren't there before? And what tweaks to your current approach might set you up best for what's coming next in Metro Atlanta?
Good food for thought. Analyzing the next move.
Exactly. It's time to really analyze that next move.